Hello and welcome to Married with Baby Cat. We're on location this time. We got some special guests.
Special guest for Metal March.
We're not actually here with Baby Cat this time. She didn't come along.
Nope, she's taking a break tonight from all that sleeping she's been doing.
That's right. It's very hard. She's like, I'm not leaving. Podcast comes to me. I don't go to the podcast.
Yep.
So she stayed home. We got another special guest to fill her in. We got a replacement Kona.
Kona dog.
Yeah.
Corona dog.
Kona
Might hear
dog.
from her.
You'll probably hear
If
from her.
you hear a heavy breathing,
You're gonna hear a lot.
Like
it's a canine.
she sounds like the beer. Corona dog.
She does, yeah.
Corona dog.
So we brought some special guests, some metal files. Since this is Metal Month, the last podcast before March ends. So we brought in some big metal heads. We have
Metal experts.
metal experts. I can't combine it to one word. It's really hard. So we have a coworker of yours,
Yes.
Chrissy.
Hello.
We have from Sinersha, awesome band, and also the bassist to Death Cactus, James.
How's it going?
And then we have one of the guitarists from Death Cactus as well, Sean.
Hey, what's going on?
Uncle Sean.
Uncle Sean.
Wearing leather jacket Sean, as you
Yeah.
might.
Hey, what's up?
that was good, Sean.
I know, it was very good. It was very good.
Okay, so we want to talk some metal. I want to kind of ask everyone how they got into metal. Okay, thanks, Kona. Appreciate it.
That's Kona.
So you got her answer.
Mhm.
So Chrissy, how did you get into metal? Really?
Well, as a kid, I kind of like always listened to like what my brother was listening to. It's like kind of that kind of thing. So I was like, as a kid, I was into a few things, but kind of like rock. I was very into Nirvana, actually, which I know is like a hit or miss for a lot of people. But Nevermind was like a really big album for me. Like in a very non-pretentious way. That was like kind of the first album I listened to when I was younger that I felt like, I think I listened to music differently.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like than an average one of my peers. You
Okay.
know?
Yeah.
So I kind of like grew up around like just kind of like a rock, grungy kind of a thing. And actually I really didn't start getting into metal hardcore until Mr. James O'Connor.
Mr. James O'Connor.
So I haven't really been. Yeah.
And how do you know this gentleman over here?
Oh man. So
You guys met a couple times, I guess, right?
we were, yeah, we met a few times. Decided to get a dog and buy a house. So,
Makes sense.
yeah. So my aunt is a hairdresser, and she had known James's family, James's
my
mom,
mom.
for forever.
Since her first job, I think.
Yeah, which I don't know where it was, but
Willowbrook Mall.
Willowbrook, I
Oh,
guess.
man.
Yeah. And I mean, she like did Roxy's hair, my mother-in-law's hair for like her wedding. So like that's like how far it goes back.
Yeah. Loved
And-
it and just followed her wherever she went.
Yeah. So we, I guess you took her to like a Devil's game or something. You took my aunt to a Devil's game or something like that. You had those.
Yeah, I
those
had
nice,
tickets
sweet-ass
to
bottles.
the Devil's game.
those
Sweet tickets.
the sweet
And
tickets.
somebody canceled on me, and I just didn't want to let the tickets go to waste. So I contacted your aunt and asked if James and Uncle Jimmy
Yeah.
wanted
So
to go. And
so one day out of the blue, my aunt called me and she was like, I know this really good guy. I think like he'd be really nice. You should probably like get together. So that's the long and short of it. We were kind of set up by my aunt.
So your metal enthusiasm grew with James coming along.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of like after we started dating, I kind of like listened to the entire Pantera catalog.
Okay.
I mean, I always do who they were, but he was like, "Oh yeah,
check out this band."
Never go
They're
wrong
pretty
with
good.
Pantera.
And then it kind of grew from there. So I've really been like hardcore into metal for like about the last 6 years or so. Really, not all of my life. So
Okay. That's pretty cool. Leather jacket Sean,
What's up?
how did you get into metal? You've been in metal for
I've been into metal pretty much since middle school, actually. Before that, my elementary school years, I was into rap.
Wow.
Which, yeah,
What?
I used to wear
That's right.
I used to wear those basketball jerseys and the Jordans and all
Wow.
that crap.
Wow.
And then finally, my dad introduced me to Black Sabbath and
Okay.
Led Zeppelin, and
Nice.
that's what really got me sparked into heavy metal. So ever since then, I discovered bands like Metallica, and then Slipknot got me into the bands that are more screaming. You know, they're like the gateway drug to good metal, basically.
Nice.
Yeah, but you know, so after that, you know, I got into all kinds of metal, and ever since then, it's been my genre of music that I love so much. So.
And you say Metallica's your favorite, right?
Metallica's my favorite
All-time
band,
favorite,
even though I
okay.
kind of hate Lars Ulrich. I think we all do at this table.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna get mad at you when you listen to
Yeah,
this.
you know what? Let him. I really
Yeah,
don't
he's
care.
gonna call me about it.
Yeah, he'll sue me. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
but it'll be worth it. But
Cool.
anyway, but yeah, Metallica's my favorite band of all time.
And then you started Death Cactus.
I started
How
Death
long ago
Cactus
now?
pretty much 10 years ago.
Okay.
I met my band through Craigslist,
Okay,
actually.
nice.
Great place, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of shady, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, like
you're-
murderers and
yeah,
stuff, but
yeah,
yeah, bands are
yeah,
on
you
there
know, you
too.
get prostitutes on there, but
Yeah,
no, I
metal
found,
bands,
yeah,
yeah.
but you know, so I met Garvey on Craigslist, and I was looking for a lead guitarist at the time, and he joined me, and ever since then we've been jamming and writing
Okay.
songs, and
Cool.
we weren't Death Cactus then. One of our first band names was Through the Ether.
Okay.
And
always
and then
hated
after
that
that,
name.
Death Cactus was we came up with that a long time ago, but it just never clicked that we
Right.
should use it. So yeah, it was in the back burner for a while.
And now you guys are on Spotify.
We're on Spotify now,
Got your
and
first,
we're actually
your
pretty.
first EP here.
Yes, we have an EP out on Spotify. Pretty much anywhere you could buy digital music, we are on it. So check us out.
Awesome. Cool.
Definitely.
And then sometimes people can hear you on the Metallica Cave. too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There's a radio station I'm on called the Metallica Cave usually. Well, it's my buddy Jerry Declet. He runs his own show, Metallica Cave. It's amazing. It's Wednesday nights at 6:00. Definitely check it out. I'm there every week.
Cool.
I like listening to all the local bands, and trust me, there's a lot of talent out there.
Yeah.
A lot of these signed acts are they're great, but a lot of them are crap as
Mhm,
well.
mhm.
But you know,
Kona agrees.
Kona definitely
Yeah,
agrees.
she was trying
But
to-
you know, a lot of these underground bands are amazing. There's so much talent that nobody knows about,
Mhm,
and
right.
he makes them known. He makes
Right.
them heard.
Right.
So it's a really cool station. So check it
Awesome.
out. You know,
So another talented person here, James.
Hello, how are you?
How did you get into metal, James?
Much like Sean, to
Okay.
be completely honest with you.
that's funny.
My father started it all with Led Zeppelin,
Interesting.
and even Mountain. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, Mississippi Queen.
Yeah, Mississippi Queen. Yeah.
Wow.
So, like, when I was younger, elementary, middle school, I played soccer. On the way to the games and home from the games and practices and everything, he would just hit Black Dog
Okay.
for Led Zeppelin.
Was that one? Yeah.
And that was it. I was like, just totally intrigued. As I started to get older, I started to experiment with some other type of music. I hate to say, Limp Bizkit and
Yeah,
Korn.
Limp Bizkit's
and
awesome.
Yeah, me
all
too.
that stuff.
I used to
No.
love Limp Bizkit, man.
Yeah, used to is the big key word here.
$3 bill, y'all.
And my cousin was into it also, so we would listen to it and share albums and trade info and everything on it. As I got into high school, I met my buddy Rich, and Rich Fisher.
By
from,
the way,
yeah,
little background.
yeah,
on
yeah,
Rich.
Rich Fisher, who is one of my first bandmates in our band Infamous Plague. He has now gone on to
He's gone on to
bigger
things.
and better things.
Let's say he's gone on to bigger
Yep.
things.
He's been in a few bands, most recently Midnight Eternal, who has been signed and is currently touring.
Yeah, just had a big European tour.
Just finished a European tour. He's open for Queensryche on
Nice.
a U.S. tour. It was Queensryche and Armor Saint, I believe. He's also open for Camelot and a few other bands in the local tri-state area, and they're based out of New York City, so check them out. They got stuff online as well. But as I met
Kona
him,
agrees.
Yep.
I
He's
started to
excited.
learn-
Man, check
Yeah.
that band out.
Yeah.
as I met him, I started to learn about Judas Priest and Iron Maiden
Nice.
and Dio and all those bands like that. And with a little influence from my cousin, older cousin, he had the Vulgar Display of Power CD ready and available in his inventory. And I checked it out. And the first time I hit play, I was just, my mind was blown.
Nice.
And from there on out, Pantera is and has been the best metal band to me.
It's a good one too. you
Yeah,
know?
it's good.
But I fell in love with all those other ones. And like I said, Rich is responsible for really expanding me into the old school, traditional heavy metal.
I know Corona, right? Corona
Yep.
Dog.
Yeah.
Corona dog.
So now you're recently.
Corona loves Rammstein, by the way.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at her.
Big Rammstein.
Yep. See, she's going crazy about it. So you recently just joined Death Cactus,
I did.
Yeah.
but you were with Sinersha before that. Still with
Yes.
them, but
Still
started there. How,
Yep.
how long ago has that been now? With Sinersha?
Sinersha has been since 2015, I believe. It was late 14, if anything.
Okay.
Before Chrissy and I were married. And I found them through this website, bandmix.com.
I know that site.
Yeah, it's basically musicians Craigslist for local talent and people looking for bands looking for people. And Rich, again, had actually suggested that. He found a few members through that website. And I got a message from these guys that we might be a good fit based off of my old school upbringing and their newer stuff. And Sinersha is big fans of Breaking Benjamin, Five Finger Death Punch, you know, the newer rock and alternative type music.
Like new metal kind of.
Yeah. I guess new age and new metal. Yeah. So I went and tried out for them, and it went really well. We wrote a few songs pretty much right off the bat. We're working on a second album. The first one is Casting Shadows, and that will be available soon, hopefully on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, and we're hoping to distribute that stuff worldwide as well.
Yeah, so Casting Shadows. So we got the album here.
Yep.
Cover's pretty nice here.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
That's by our lead guitarist, Vin Wolf. He's a graphic designer on side.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's very cool.
So that's going to be out soon, you said, like for...
Yep, the CDs are available at our shows.
Cool.
The digital media we're hoping to get presented out shortly.
Awesome. Cool. So keep an ear out for Sinersha, and Death Cactus is already on Spotify, like we said. James part of both bands. All right, so let's get into the meat now. We've kind of met everybody. Everyone's personal friends with everybody here.
Yep.
Really? I didn't think so.
Yeah, the internet. They're personal friends with you now. The internet is personal friends with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're Mayor Sean. Everybody knows
Mayor
you.
Sean.
Everyone
Yeah.
knows.
That's my new name. Leather Jacket Sean's no more.
Okay, so let's get into the heart of it, and we're going to start with Bang. We're going to start with Metallica versus Megadeth. Now, I'm going to kind of bow out here. As I said last week, I'm not the biggest metalhead, especially compared to everyone else here, probably. So I'm going to take a little bit of a bow out, let you guys kind of figure this one out.
You can chime
I'll chime in,
Oh,
but
man.
who wants to go start? Who wants to?
I'll start on
Okay,
Yeah.
James is
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
He turned his
Yeah.
hat around.
We're just gonna do
This is James's segment.
We're just
here,
gonna do
so-
the individual, like who we're for, and then go into
Sure,
it.
yeah.
I do Megadeth.
For you, I mean, I love Metallica, but honestly, Dave Mustaine is easily he's probably my favorite metal guitarist of all time. I think he's a great songwriter, and his riffs are just ridiculous. His rhythm guitar playing is like nothing I've ever heard before. James Hetfield, on the other hand, for me, he is the best frontman of all time. You know, and probably the best rhythm guitarist of all time. So,
Fair enough.
yeah, I think so. I mean, I really like both a lot, but they're both very different styles, even though Dave Mustaine was in Metallica for quite some time before he got kicked out, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is hands down Metallica. I mean, I like Megadeth, and I think Dave Mustaine is freaking awesome. But yeah, mine's definitely Metallica.
Yeah.
This is difficult for me because I feel like I just see them as two totally different entities. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
they
are.
are.
Two
They definitely
totally
are.
different. I don't know. I can't give you a straight answer.
If you don't want to
They're
sleep
two-
on the couch, you know which one you choose.
They're
Wow, it just got real.
They're just completely different sound, completely different style of songwriting. I think
Yes.
maybe
From going to both,
especially,
Yeah.
especially on the later end.
from going to
Yeah.
both shows though, I have more fun at Megadeth shows because everybody's a lot more crazy. There's crowd surfing, there's moshing. I mean, Metallica, everybody just
True.
kind of stands there and
it's more
watches
of
them.
a novelty
Yeah.
kind
You
of
know,
thing,
but
yeah.
Megadeth, like every time I've been to those shows, it's been nothing but chaos everywhere, and it's fun. You know.
And they're usually smaller venues. Too.
Yeah, they're smaller. You're
Oh,
more
but
intimate
yeah,
with the
it's more
band.
Yeah.
Right, right,
If you go to
Yeah.
Metallica, you're in a stadium.
Yeah, that's a stadium.
You know,
Yeah,
you're lucky if
Absolutely.
you can actually see them up close. But you have
Yeah.
though, Sean.
yeah.
You've seen them up close.
Yeah.
I've seen all
Because
those.
you're
Man.
crazy and get there.
Yeah, I push my way to the front. I
Yeah.
usually don't care.
Usually crowd surf to
Which
the
is
I
front.
crowd
awesome,
surf
yeah.
my way to the front.
And you
usually.
crowd surf out too.
Yeah. That was
Almost
for
we have a concert, just crowd surf out.
that was for a monomorph.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did that. Yeah.
I would have to go Metallica too. I just think James Hetfield obviously has a way better singing voice than
Yeah.
That
A lot of
is-
people can
that
argue
is-
that.
Oh,
A lot of, I mean, I don't mind Dave Mustaine's voice, but a lot of people hate his voice. I know a lot of people who can't stand his voice, and they kind of boycott.
Yeah, I
that
wouldn't say I
band.
can't stand. It's
You
just
know,
Hetfield's
but
better,
but no,
think,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't think he's a bad frontman at all. I think he's fantastic at what he does.
Yeah.
And he makes use of what talent he has with as a singer at
Right.
least.
Yeah.
Guitarist, he's got it down.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know.
Yeah.
So I would go Metallica. So what do we have? We had You said Metallica, right?
I said
So two
Metallica.
Metallicas.
Yeah,
You said
definitely.
Metallica?
Yep.
So 3 Metallicas. We got a Megadeth, and
I got
Chrissy's kind of.
And
Megadeth.
but you know what? You can't go wrong with Megadeth either.
My-
Yeah.
I
My
love
whole
both.
thing